Have you ever prayed for something with all your heart, something you believed was good and right, only to be met with silence? You pray, you hope, you wait, and nothing happens. It feels like God has put your request on hold, and you're stuck in this endless waiting room. Why? Why does a loving, all-powerful God sometimes make us wait? It's a question that can test our faith and leave us feeling confused, frustrated, and even abandoned. But what if I told you that the wait isn't a no? What if it's actually a vital part of His perfect plan for you? Today, we're going to explore the profound and often hidden reasons behind God's divine delays. By the end of this video, I hope you'll see your waiting period not as a punishment, but as a period of powerful preparation and purpose. Let's start with a foundational truth: God's timing is perfect. We hear this a lot, but what does it really mean? It means His schedule is not our schedule. Isaiah 55:8-9 tells us, "For my thoughts are not your thoughts, neither are your ways my ways, declares the Lord. As the heavens are higher than the earth, so are my ways higher than your ways and my thoughts than your thoughts." We see a limited, earthly timeline. We see the immediate need to present desire. God sees the entire cosmic picture, from beginning to end. He knows how every single piece fits together. Sometimes, He asks us to wait because the timing simply isn't right. The person you're praying for isn't ready. The opportunity you want hasn't fully matured. The resources you'll need aren't in place yet. He is arranging all the details behind the scenes, details we can't possibly see. Think of it like baking a cake. You can't rush the process. If you pull it out of the oven too early, you don't have a slightly underbaked cake. You have a gooey mess. God knows the perfect moment when everything will come together beautifully. Waiting is trusting His master baker instincts over our own impatience. Another crucial reason for waiting is preparation. Often, God's wait is less about the thing we are waiting for and more about the person we are becoming while we wait. He's not just preparing the blessing for you, He's preparing you for the blessing. Maybe you're praying for a leadership position, but God sees that you need to develop more humility or patience. Maybe you're asking for a spouse, but God knows you need to first learn to find your complete identity and security in Him alone, so you don't place that impossible burden on another person. The waiting period is a training ground. It's where our character is forged, our faith is deepened, and our reliance on God is strengthened. Look at the story of David. He was anointed king as a young shepherd boy, but he had to wait years before he actually sat on the throne. During those years, what did he do? He faced lions, giants, and a jealous king who wanted him dead. He was a fugitive, hiding in caves. Those trials weren't random setbacks, they were God's leadership development program. They prepared him to be a king after God's own heart. If God gave us everything we wanted the moment we asked for it, we would remain spiritually immature. The waiting forces us to grow, to stretch our faith muscles, and to become the person capable of handling the very thing we're asking for. So ask yourself, what is God trying to teach me or develop in me during this season of waiting? Waiting also serves to clarify our motives and purify our desires. When we have to wait for something, it gives us time to reflect on why we truly want it. Is our request born from a place of pride, envy, or desire for comfort? Or is it genuinely aligned with God's will and for His glory? Sometimes we pray for things that we think will make us happy, but God, in His infinite wisdom, knows they would actually lead us down a wrong path or become an idol in our hearts. A prolonged waiting period can sift our intentions. As time goes on, superficial desires often fade away, while the desires that are truly from God remain and even grow stronger. The wait forces us to ask the hard questions. Do I want this thing more than I want God Himself? Am I willing to receive a no that is His best for me? This process of purification is invaluable. It shifts our focus from the gift to the giver. We start to desire God's presence more than His presence. And when we get to that place, our hearts are truly aligned with His. The waiting has done its sanctifying work. Furthermore, waiting builds a testimony. How powerful is a story of instant gratification? Not very. The stories that inspire us, the ones that build faith in others, are almost always stories of endurance. Think of Abraham and Sarah, waiting decades for their promised son, Isaac. Think of Joseph, waiting 13 years in slavery and prison before rising to power in Egypt. Think of the Israelites, waiting 40 years in the wilderness. Their periods of waiting were not footnotes in their stories. They were the main chapters. It was in the waiting that their faith was tested and proven. It was their perseverance through the wait that ultimately brought God the most glory. When you finally receive what you've been praying for after a long season of faithful waiting, your story becomes a beacon of hope for others. You can stand and say, "Look what the Lord has done. I waited on Him, even when it was hard, even when I wanted to give up, and He was faithful." Your journey through the waiting room becomes a powerful testament to God's faithfulness, timing, and goodness, encouraging everyone around you who is also in a season of waiting. Your wait is not just for you, it's for the people you will one day inspire. Finally, and perhaps most importantly, the waiting deepens our relationship with God. When everything is going our way and prayers are answered instantly, it's easy to become self-reliant. We can start to treat God like a vending machine. Put in a prayer, get a blessing. But when we are forced to wait, when our own strength and plans fail, we are driven to our knees. The waiting room is where intimacy with God is born. It's in the quiet, uncertain moments that we learn to truly listen for His voice. It's when we feel weak that we discover His strength is made perfect in our weakness. The waiting strips away all the no's and distractions and forces us to depend on Him for our daily bread, for our daily peace, for our daily hope. David wrote many of the Psalms while he was in a state of waiting, crying out to God. In Psalm 27 he says, "I remain confident of this, I will see the goodness of the Lord in the land of the living." Wait for the Lord. Be strong and take heart and wait for the Lord. The waiting didn't destroy his faith. It became the very context in which his faith was expressed and deepened. He learned to find his satisfaction in God alone, not in the fulfillment of his circumstances. The greatest gift of the waiting period might not be the thing you receive at the end of it, but the person you get to know along the way, God Himself. So, if you are in a season of waiting right now, be encouraged. It is not a sign of God's absence but a sign of His active, loving work in your life. He is not ignoring you, He is orchestrating, He is preparing, He is purifying, and He is drawing you closer. Trust His timing. Embrace the preparation process, allow Him to purify your motives. Know that He is building a powerful testimony through you. And above all, use this time to press into Him and deepen your relationship with the one who holds your future in His hands. The wait is not wasted, it's a sacred, purposeful space where God does some of His most profound work. Wait for the Lord, be strong and take heart. He is faithful, and His plan for you is good. Thanks so much for watching. If this message resonated with you, please give it a thumbs up and share it with someone who might need to hear it. And don't forget to subscribe for more content to encourage you on your faith journey. See you in the next video.